Hi, Tyra.
Hi, what's up, God?
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, Zacho.
Hello.
Hello. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's going on with you?
Oh, I'm sitting in the basement freezing to death.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, warming up. I need like a little heater.
Yeah, exactly. My mom has one of them.
Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, I I just did something that I shouldn't have done. Whoopsie. All right. Miss Sevka's going to lose her marbles. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to fix this little error that I did. All right. Correction made. Do-do-do-do. All right, just waiting on everybody to get in here. Hello, everybody. Aiden, Nali, Anaya, Ben, Deshawn, Monica, Kaden, Jenna Ember, Skylar. I already said hi to Tyra and Zach. Oh, it must be I said something wrong to Aiden. He already left. I'm just vicious. What can I say? Oh gosh. The dogs are going crazy. All right, so get out your warm-up page because that's where we're going to start today. I'm just going to do a little recapping from the last time, just real short and brief. So just recapping about the late policy virtually is at 80% will be scored for late work, and it's also scored on what work you get correct. End of unit, work will be worth 0, okay? Typically, I will give you class time to work on things. So just like in the classroom, I give you an assignment, you don't walk out of class and go on your merry way, you sit and you are working on the assignment that I've given you. So sometimes it'll go into the next day, or the assignment's due the next time we meet or before the next time we meet. So just keep tabs on the due dates, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to continue with our notes on how food is affecting our lives. And then at, 12:55, I did a demo on potato wedges. And so you will be watching that demonstration and filling out your demo page. And I'm going to go over that also at that time as well, because we do have some newcomers, and it's always good to recap how that demo page should look, so you don't have to go back and make any corrections, that you got it the way it should be. Okay, so that's my skinny version of what I was going to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and go into our warm-up. So let me share my screen with you, and then I will open that up. For some reason, it's, oh, I know why, because I'm on camera. The camera doesn't like me. It doesn't want me to be seen. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go into 5th hour. Uh-oh.
Miss Sepka, did we have a warm-up Monday?
Yes, did I forget to show it to you guys?
I believe so.
I did that with another class. I caught myself, but yeah, I think I screwed that up. So let's do 2 today. They're easy. No moaning and groaning, but we'll do 2. So we'll give you 4 minutes, and at the 2-minute marker, I'll switch over to the date for today. But I should have showed you, but I think I got wrapped up in telling you what you should and shouldn't do on the warm-up. And so I must have overshadowed what I was supposed to be doing. All right, anyway. enough of my not being perfect. All right, so this was your actual Monday warm-up. You only have to do nutrition because that's the class we're in. P is for parenting, C is for culinary. In the assignment section under description, it tells you all the variables that you need to have on your warm-up for you to get full points. So we're gonna go ahead and start the timer. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes on this first slide and then 2 minutes on the second slide. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Question is, what influences your food choices? 2 minutes on the clock for this first one. $50 seconds on this first slide. Okay, 2 minutes on the next slide. Only the end question. What do you call the beliefs and social customs of a group of people? Those were in our notes last time. You can access your notes. You can take a good educational guess. IDK will not be accepted, and any Google answers will not be accepted. $45 seconds. Zach, will you be our timekeeper and just let me know when it's 12:55 if I don't remember? Because you know, last time I didn't realize we were done with class on Monday.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. 2 heads are better than 1 sometimes. All right. So sorry about giving you 2 warm-ups. That doesn't usually happen that way, but sometimes I get wound up in what I want to do and forget what I need to do. So that typically doesn't happen. So, but I appreciate you willingness to oversee my imperfections sometimes. All right. So What is the answer to today's warm-up question? Did anyone answer it and tell me what you put? What was your good educational guess about beliefs and social customs of a group of people? What is that?
I literally just put social customs.
What? You'll get your point because it's an answer. It's a good educational guess. Anyone else want to venture a guess? I promise not to.
I said their cultural or like their religion.
Okay, so culture was the right answer. Good job.
Let's go.
Yes, and religion could be a part of that. So very good. I guess you do listen to me once in a while, huh, Zach?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so I got a couple other definitions for you, and let's see if you can pull out what the word would be. And this is fair game for anybody. So what do you call the study of nutrients and how the body uses them? What is the study of nutrients? What do we call that?
Nutrition.
Yes, thank you. Was that Jenna?
No, Ember.
Ember, good job. You sound like Jenna. Jenna's like, thanks, Miss Subka. But thank you, Ember. That's correct. Good job. What is a chemical substance that helps with functions, growth, maintenance, repair, gives us energy? Anybody on that one? I'll tell you there's 6 of them. There's protein, carbs, fat, vitamins, minerals, water. What are those?
Nutrients.
Yes. Was that Jenna?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, at least, 1 out of 2 isn't bad. All right. And then what is the word that goes with good health and positive well-being? So we are thinking of, making positive food choices. We're thinking about being physically active, weighing on our emotions and keeping them healthy, staying away from drugs and alcohol. What word kind of links up with that one?
Wellness.
Yes. Thank you. Was that Ember?
No, it was Jenna.
Jeez, you guys sound so much alike. Okay, 3 sisters. No, you have triplets. That's right. All right. Enough of the shenanigans. All right, so we are going to continue on with our notes. So, I believe the last spot that we left off, and you can prove me wrong if this is not accurate, but I believe we went through ethnic influences because that was written for you. And then I went over ethnic foods. Is that correct? On your note page? So for anybody that's lost, in Google Classroom, there's a section on factors that affect food choices. And what you need to do is you're going to just follow along with notes. So if you weren't here Monday, remember that there's always a recording. And if you don't show up for class, you should show up for the recording on that day, okay? It's just like a dentist appointment, You go to your dentist appointment. You still have to go to class, even if it's not at, 12:25. You could go to class at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, just watch the recording and follow along, and that's where you would have gotten all these answers. Okay, so could someone just verify we left off at ethnic foods, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's where we're going to start. I would like you, if you could, maybe put another little bullet under ethnic foods, and I gave you the definition of a food norm. And for one of the things that we're going to do, you're going to need that definition. So I'm going to go over it. And I would like you to add it in if you could, please. So let's see. I'm looking at my list of people here. Ember, can you be my temperature on note taking as far as like if I ask like, are you done, will you be able to respond to me and give me a yes or no answer?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that'd be fabulous. Okay, so I would like you again to put another little bullet next to our underneath ethnic foods and write food norms. And here's the definition. So Listen up, and I'll repeat it a couple times. A food norm is a typical, standard, and pattern related to food and eating behaviors. A food norm is a typical, standard, and pattern related to food and eating behaviors. And I think I gave this to you last time too, so some of you wrote it down, awesome. But if not, add it in. Food norms, a typical, standard, and pattern related to food and eating behaviors. Let me know if you need it again. With your silence, I'm assuming we're good to go. Okay, and remember I gave the example of the Dutch culture that they typically, when they eat, they like to eat sweet and sour, and that would be like a food norm for them, okay? Can anyone think of a food norm for us? Like, what are some things that would be like a pattern that we do each time we eat? Like, for example, somebody might say grace, let's say, and that's just a norm. They sit down, they say grace every time they eat. So that's a food norm for them. Okay, another food norm for some people could be that they sit at the table, you know, and that's just something that they do to reconnect with each other after a busy day. You know, that could be a food norm for some people. So it just depends on, you know, the type of people, what's important to them, things like that. Okay. And then I can't remember if I said all this other stuff, so I'm just going to recap it. It's not in your notes, but it's something that you could put under ethnic influences if you wanted to. So let me see here. All right. So some ethnic groups have special ways of selecting, buying, cooking, serving, or eating and storing foods. These customs are ways of expressing deep-rooted ties to a common heritage. So Italians, they will go shopping every day because they want fresh ingredients for dinner that night or lunch or what have you. Indian, typically, the Indian culture, they cook in a special oven called a tandoor. And then the British always have tea and cookies. Sometimes they're called tea and crumpets and things like that, little sandwiches as a light meal in the afternoon. So if you've ever watched a show and it's, you know, British, you'll usually see them drinking tea and things like that. Also, ethnic food traditions help build bonds of togetherness. Many ethnic groups serve special foods on certain days. So the Japanese, they eat black beans on New Year's Day for good health and fortune. The Jewish culture, they eat apples and honey as part of New Year's celebration because they want their new year to be sweet, and honey and apples tend to be sweet. Oops. Okay. So, what foods are part of your family ethnic traditions? Did we talk about this yesterday? Like, for example, turkey. Most people have turkey during Thanksgiving, not everybody, but that would say that would be like a food tradition. Does anybody else, like in the chat, do you have any food traditions that your family has that's been maybe passed down to you? If you could put that into the chat, and then I could see what maybe one of your food traditions are. Another one of ours would be like Christmas cookies during Christmas time, birthday cakes at, you know, birthdays. Does anybody else do something on the birthday that's different than a birthday cake? No? What about, like, do you do anything? Thanks, Zach. Like for Easter, you know, is there something you specifically eat on Easter? I mean, do you all like color eggs or, you know, boil the eggs so that you have those for Easter? What's another one coming up? St. Patrick's Day. Is there something that you do on St. Patrick's Day? But those are all like American traditions that, we have certain things that we eat or we participate in or do things that all contribute to our American culture. You can recognize ethnic foods by their ingredients, seasonings, preparation methods. Like corn and beans grow in Mexico. Spanish dishes are often flavored with onions, garlic, olive oil. Middle Eastern foods are often seasoned with saffron, cumin, ginger. Chinese dishes are often stir-fried or steamed. They're usually cut up really small, and they use a wok because it cooks really fast. So those are all things to remember. All right, going back to my PowerPoint here. Whoops, I don't even think I opened it. Okay, so we're going to move on from ethnic. Okay, so now you're on to food taboos. And those are certain food or drink items which people abstain from consuming. So many food taboos seem to make no sense at all as to what may be declared unfit by one group may be perfectly acceptable to another. Utilizing a resource more efficiently, protection of a resource. So in some cultures, like for example, Hindus, they do not eat cows because they're considered sacred. Okay, and so, those would be a food taboo would be to eat a cow. Typically in the United States, we don't eat bugs. In other countries, they eat grasshoppers, different things like that. But for here, most people would cringe or be disgusted by somebody eating something like that. So I would say that's kind of a food taboo for us in the United States. Can you think of another food taboo that we might have here in the U.S.? Any thoughts on that one? Any other food taboos that you can think of that are here in the U.S.? Don't get too chatty now. Hello, anybody there? Nobody's there today. Oh, stop it. All right. So, I'm trying to think of another food taboo we might have. Nothing's coming to my brain right now. It'll come to me. Crickets. Yeah, that's one I was thinking of, Nally. Yeah. Can you think of a different one? Like I know that we have a bunch, but something I'm just not thinking of it. I don't know. Dog. Okay, good. Yeah, any kind of insects. Thanks, guys, for helping me out. Bats. All right. Do you know where bats are a delicacy or something, Zach? China. Okay, I'm going to look into that. All right. All right, moving on. I keep opening the wrong thing. Here we go. All right, on to this. Forward march. All right, so then regional influences. So we will actually be doing an American regional cuisine, and then I or you will be cooking some of those, but we will be doing a little project on regional cuisine. But for your notes, please put that people choose what to eat because of the geography of where they are, because certain foods grow better in those climates. So when we're talking about Southeast Asia, rice grows really well there because it's hot and humid. Africa, India, China, hot and dry environment. Europe, Asia, Africa, wheat, rye, barley, oats because it's a little bit cooler. American, corn. So it does depend on what region you're in and what grows. Like for example, in Florida, oranges, are readily available down here and they get shipped up to us. So those are some of the things that we experience here in the United States about what gets grown in certain areas of the U.S. and what is served in restaurants and different things like that. Ember, are you good on this one?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going at an okay speed.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so religious influences. This goes on your notes too. Many religions teach about the use of food and the teaching effects of cultural food practice. So, like I said, Hindus do not eat beef. They considered cattle sacred. Jewish and Muslims don't eat pork. So there's that. They, like kosher is basically when the food is blessed. So if you ever go to the store and you see kosher hot dogs or something like that, it's because they were blessed. Buddhism urges mindfulness of diet, leads some to be vegetarianism or causes them to be vegetarian. So there's that. We have Muslims. Whoops, didn't mean to do that so quick. Sorry. Muslims fast during the day of the 9th month of the calendar year. So there's a religion that, fasts, which means they don't eat during that time. Seventh-day Adventists, they eat a vegetarian diet. Let's see, what else can I share with you? Here in the U.S., I'm not Catholic, so somebody that's Catholic can speak to this maybe, but there's a certain time where they don't eat meat on Fridays, and so then fish would have to be the alternative to be eating that type of food on Fridays. It's kind of like Lent, and you guys can correct me. Lent is where you are choosing to give up a habit. Usually it's, like I said, meat on Fridays, but sometimes people give up coffee or they give up, I don't even know, chocolate or something like that. So that sometimes weighs in. Anybody, am I saying that right? Or do we have any people that are Catholics and that can corroborate my story here? Okay, must not be. Okay, I'll continue then. But I think that is true about the Catholic religion. And then we have kosher foods, those that conform to the regulation of the Jewish dietary law. So pork, rabbit, eagle, owl, catfish, sturgeon, any shellfish, insects, or reptiles are non-kosher. Other species of meat and fowl must be slaughtered in a prescribed manner to be kosher. Meat and dairy products may not be made or consumed together. So the reason, like for example, shellfish are non-kosher is because they're considered dirty, and they are like ground feeders. So they feed on things that are on the ground in the water. And so, they would think that those types of foods would not be high quality because the shellfish is eating something that they consider not good to eat. And so that's kind of what kosher is all about. Okay. So this, I'm going to put a little sticky note that I stopped here with you guys. So this is 5th hour. Okay. Okay, so we got to the end here of our before we hit social influences. We are going to stop here, and thank you, Zach, for stopping me. I'm kidding.
You totally forgot about that. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, I think I figured that one out, but that's okay.
No, I probably would have remembered. I probably would have looked at the time and be like, oh, snap.
I said 55, so you did have a little leeway there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and suspend the slideshow, and I want to go into Google Classroom and talk about the demo page, okay? And if you've heard me and heard my spiel, just listen to it one more time. All right. So a couple things. So the teacher demo right here, that's the one that you are going to do and turn into me. I have an example here, okay? And I gave this out when we first did the one that we did in the first 9 weeks, okay? This is just an example. Example. Oh, that's the timer. Okay, so this is just an example. Whoops. Okay, so all right, so when you're doing your demo, you want the name of the recipe. So I did potato wedges for you guys. And then what goes under ingredients is the exact amount and the ingredient. And I would like them in a list format, okay? That's how they are in a recipe. You list them out. They aren't in like sentence form. You would list them. Same with your kitchen equipment. Watch and look at the video, see all of the things that I use that are equipment based and write them underneath the kitchen equipment in a list formation. And then when you go to your directions, bullets help keep you organized. And that's how they're written in a recipe. Typically, they're not in like a paragraph form. Each step is listed. Okay, so I use bullets. You can use whatever you want. But you kind of list those out too. And then your additional comments are comments that I make during the presentation, okay? Some people think it's like, what do they think? What are their additional comments? It's what are your teacher's additional comments, okay? And you can just list those out as well. Now, when you are answering questions, if I put a CS, that means that you did not have a complete sentence, and I will take a couple points off. You also need to highlight your answers. And if you don't highlight, then I will be telling you you didn't highlight. Okay, so if any of your documents ever have a CS on them, that means that you didn't put it in a complete sentence. Okay, that's just my shorthand, my acronym, if you will, to just save on time. But make sure you got your capitals, your end marks, make sure you highlight them, and then you're good to go. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the example? Okay, so here I am doing nutrition potato wedges, and then this is like it's not even registered because it's not even a minute of me pulling them out of the oven and tasting one. Okay, so you do need to watch that so that you can see what they look like. But here I am making them, showing you the measuring utensil, how much I use, the equipment that I'm going to be using, and things like that. Okay, so I am going to give you until 12:25 to complete the assignment. So you need to be working on it. This is me in class handing you this assignment and asking you to work on it. Okay? So you need to go into Google Classroom. You need to watch the video. I would do a side-by-side screen share. So I got the video on one side of my screen, I got my demo page on the other side of my screen, and as I'm watching the video, I'm just jotting down things as I see them on the demo page. And then when I'm all done, I'll go back in and I'll make sure I got complete sentences here, I listed these out, things like that to make sure I get my 30 points. But I'm not just going to hand over 30 points for people that do a crappy job. You know, you need to make sure you fill it out completely, that you follow the example demo page and do it correctly. It needs to be your work to make sure that it is. Questions? Ember, am I missing anything? Did I hit on everything?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, so you have until 12:25 to either A, turn it in and have no homework, B, work on it until 12:25 and then know that it is due Friday, and at some point between now and then, you have a little more work to do. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can stay after 12:25 and talk to me about it. But, you know, at 12:25, we're here for the duration, and your work needs to get done.
Do you mean 125?
Yes, that's what I meant. Sorry, you're right. All right, so Zach, you are telling me you don't have any questions. That's what that means. Okay, very good. All right, so go into Google Classroom, get out that demo page, side by side your screens, and watch the video. And then let me know when you're done. I'll check to see how it looks. If I have any corrections, I would encourage you to make. And then you out of here. All right. Zach says, "Oh, you have a camera person now." Kate Cameron did a recording of me today doing the yeah, I have a camera person, he says. I give an assignment and 2 kids immediately leave. Because you know they're not working on it. Huh? Because they're dumb. Hello. Do you have your phone? To look it up. No. Connor Gray says at 1:20ish in the video you messed up. What did I do? What? What are you asking me? Alrighty, does anybody have any questions about the demo page? Is everything going well for you? Connor's going to be my video editor from here on out, so he's taking on the task. So any questions for the good of the order? Oh, you just finished, Zach. Good for you. Connor's game. He's from here on out, I'm going to share my video with you before class, Connor, and you're going to edit my video. Oh, you better switch that, Zacho. Okay, good job. All right, so I'm gonna cut you guys loose a little early. I appreciate you coming, and for most of you taking an active role in class, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Ember, for being my standby, and Jenna, Zach. Who else participated today? Nolly, Connor Gray, my editor. I think that was it. Monica, let me know if I answered your question or not. But other than that, you guys are free to go.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Monica. Bye, Zach. Peace out. It's just